Litecoin. It's been around since 2011. It's a faster and cheaper alternative to Bitcoin, and over a decade later, it still holds a spot as one of the top cryptocurrencies by market cap. But should you invest in it? So in this Litecoin review, we're going to take a look at what is Litecoin, Litecoin's new developments, what can you do with Litecoin, and my personal opinion, the pros and cons, the competitors, future price expectations, and maybe more, maybe less. We'll see. I might get tired and just cut the video out.
Yeah, well, the simple way to think about it, I always see Bitcoin as digital gold and Litecoin as digital silver.
What is Litecoin? Now, this is the boring part because we have to go back into history. So Litecoin was created in 2011 as a lighter version of Bitcoin that promised faster transactions and lower fees. The man behind it, Charlie Lee, is a former Google engineer and worked for Coinbase as the director of engineering, and after that went full-time into Litecoin. So Litecoin does offer lower transaction costs and faster transactions when compared to Bitcoin. And the problem is, that's all it does. It's faster than Bitcoin. It can do 56 transactions per second, while Bitcoin can do about 7. If you're familiar with any of these new L1 or L2 blockchains, they can all do significantly more at a very, very low cost. But the thing about Litecoin is that, much like Bitcoin, it is proof of work, where you're going to need machines running to prove that work gets done, and that's what secures the network, which is why we're going to talk about mining Litecoin. Now, Litecoin is proof of work. That just means you need computers to run and secure the network, and people running their computers to secure that network get rewarded for it, and that's crypto mining. You mine crypto, you get rewarded. Now, you shouldn't just start trying to mine Litecoin. You should see if your machine is effective enough to mine it to outweigh the electric costs. And in most cases, if you're just running a regular computer, it's not. And that's why in this moment, I can also mention fraction mining, and I wanted to shine a light on this. There isn't a referral code or anything, but basically you buy these NFTs and they represent your stake in a mining pool. Eventually, they are going to have Litecoin and more Bitcoin miners. At the moment, they have Bitcoin and Cadena, both proof of work, which is why you can mine it, get rewards, and your NFT represents your share of that hash power. So I'm going to leave a link in the description if you want to learn more. What can you do with Litecoin? Obviously, you can use it as a form of payment, and a lot of people are actually doing that with BitPay. But wait, there's more. So we're going to look into some of the developments that Litecoin has that you might not know about, and some of these have launched recently or within the last few years. So there's Litecoin's MWEB or Mimble Wimble extension blocks. Now that is just a very whimsical name for privacy. Basically, you have private transactions built into the Litecoin wallet, and that allows you to send transactions securely, privately, that's people might not know about. So this is great because Litecoin still has a good reputation while some of the privacy blockchains don't. So that could be one benefit to people that want to use Litecoin. Private transactions are built into their wallet. Then you have LTC20 tokens. These are tokens built on top of Litecoin. So if you're familiar with ordinals and BRC20 tokens, that's the same thing, but Litecoin. Now, Litecoin has kind of been the testing grounds for things that are getting developed on Bitcoin just because they are fundamentally similar. So people want to test things out on the Litecoin network, and then if it works out well, it'll get ported over to the Bitcoin network. Now, personally, I don't get involved with any of these LTC20 tokens just because they're all meme coins. Anyone can create it, and I don't think they're a good investment. But at the moment, that is something that is available on Litecoin. Then you have Omnilite for Litecoin. This is basically smart contracts. The funny thing is they actually called themselves the Ethereum killer, but this project seemed to have died out very early because I can't find any information about it. No one's talking about it on Twitter, and maybe it just didn't take off. I don't know why. It was really hard to find information on this, but Omnilite was their smart contract platform. Basically, you'd be able to run DeFi and decentralized applications on the Litecoin network. That didn't happen. Then we have the Litecoin halving. So this is another reason why some people might be bullish or not bullish on Litecoin. Similar to how Bitcoin works, there's a halving, which just means the block rewards are cut in half every few years, and that just makes it more difficult to mine. And that's where the pros and cons of a halving happens, where people can be bullish or bearish depending on what it means long term. So as there are less block rewards for crypto miners, that just means miners might have to sell at a higher price, which is why some people are bullish. But on the other side of that, people think that if the mining rewards aren't worth the time of people to actually get out there and mine this cryptocurrency, then that reduces the amount of computers mining it, that reduces the security, that reduces the value. But that's just more information for you to use if you are bullish or bearish on any type of crypto halvings, whether it's Litecoin, it's Bitcoin, things like that. And for other upcoming events, we have the Proof of Work Summit 2023 in Prague coming up, and Litecoin is one of their major sponsors. Litecoin's 12th birthday is coming up in October, and they're doing a Litecoin birthday cruise, and that's going to be with Royal Caribbean. Litecoin also has a debit card through Unbanked. I think the website is broken, or maybe you can't apply anymore because I can't find any way to use this, but this is issued through a service called Unbanked, and they kind of do white label products for crypto companies or other services that want to launch their own debit cards. It is a nice service. I don't really think that this actually provides more value to the coin, just because it's more important to have those on-chain transactions. And speaking of on-chain transactions, there is consistently at least 100,000 transactions per day on the Litecoin network. And that just means people are actually using Litecoin. Now, this chart is by BitPay. They don't say the actual number of transactions, but they do say that 27% of all transactions this year through BitPay, Litecoin was used to make payments. So that is showing that people have access to Litecoin and they are using it to shop just because of the low transactions and fees. And now for the Dan opinion. So Grayscale has a Litecoin trust, and that's about minus 60% at the moment. Not great, but the good thing about Litecoin is that it's not a security. It's been around long enough, it is decentralized enough, and they don't have a target on their back like other cryptocurrencies. Now, this could just be temporary because other cryptocurrencies are fighting that lawsuit. Gary Gensler might be replaced. There's all these other things going on, but at the moment, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, Ethereum are not considered securities. And with that, we are seeing the move of traditional financial institutions into the crypto space. If they can sell cryptocurrency to the masses and take a fee on top of that, they're going to do that because they can make money from selling cryptocurrency. Cash App made over $1 billion, PayPal, Coinbase, all very straightforward businesses that sell cryptocurrency and make a lot of money doing it. So there is a big move for traditional finance to move into the crypto space because they want some of that money. They want some of those fees. So that is one of the biggest things Litecoin has going for it. But when it comes to DeFi, when it comes to stable coins, when it comes to anything else you can do, Litecoin is at a big disadvantage. But that doesn't mean the price isn't going to go up, so anything can happen.